How would you like to solve 18 Sudoku cells at one time? Keep watching to learn a powerful Sudoku shortcut that will solve this cell and the rest of this puzzle fast. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go. And with that, it's solving time. We're going to go here in block 7. You notice you have a 2 here in row 7, row 8, and column 1. The only place you can put a 2 is right there. Greetings, friend. This is a nice puzzle I found in the very hard section of a Sudoku puzzle book. I'll show you a Sudoku shortcut that will solve this green cell and the last 18 cells of this puzzle. But there's a catch I'll explain a little later in the video. First though, you need to see how many naked and hidden singles you can find. We're going to one go in block 8. You have these two ones in columns 4 and 6. It limits them to these two spots. So I'm using Snyder notation. Anytime in a 3x3 block, two possibilities for a candidate, mark it. In this case, we solve one of these cells, you can solve the other one right away. All right, no other Snyder marks with the ones. Look at the 2's up here in block 1 with these 2's. Two possibilities for 2 right there. Maybe the green cell's a 2. We will see. And then in block 6, with this 2 and this 2, Snyder 2's right there. The 3's, you have these two 3's, Snyder 3's in block 5. Nothing else with the 3's. The 4's, we got some interesting stuff going on. You notice that this 4 comes down, column 4. Notice the 4's in the same spots as the 1's. And whenever you see the situation, this is a little bonus tip for you. You have found a hidden pair. The 1 and 4 have to be somewhere in block 8. They're limited to the same two cells, so nothing else can be there. So we can mark that as a 1 and 4 hidden pair and solve this last cell in block 8 for a 3. And then these 4's also act as a pointing pair. They can't be anywhere else along this column. And so you have a 4 right there and a 4 right there, and this 4, you actually solve for 4 in block 5. And then with this 4 and this 4, you have two places for 4 in block 1. All right, look at the 5's. You have these two 5's right here. You solve that cell for a 5, displacing that Snyder 4. Whenever you displace, you can just solve the other cell right away. And what else can we do with the 5? So this 5 coming down and this 5, you have another pointing pair, this time a pointing pair of 5's. And so now the 5 can't be here. You have this 5 and this 5, so we can solve this cell for a 5, displacing that Snyder 3. And we solved all of column 4. Okay, what else can you do with the 5s? Look down in column or block 9. Put this 5 and this 5, Snyder 5's right there. Get a lot of solves in. Look at the 6's. With this 6 and this 6, you have Snyder 6's here. They act as a pointing pair. Anytime you see Snyder plus 1, you know you got a pointing pair going on. You got a 6 right there. And there's going to be 6's limited in block 3 to right there. And then with this 6 and this 6, 6's in block 5. And what else can we do with the 6's? Look in block 9. This 6 and these two 6's, Snyder 6's right here. Looking at the 7's, these two 7's and this 7, Snyder 7's in block 7. Nothing else with the 7's. Look at the 8's, come up to block 2. You see this 8 cuts across. You can solve this cell for an 8. And leaves us with a 2-7 naked pair. And we want to mark these naked pairs. You actually will want them, these by-value cells, and have only 2 candidates possible for that powerful strategy I'm going to show you. It's going to help you with the green cell. But after solving this 8, and with this 8, put Snyder 8's up here in block 2. I'm going to show you a neat little solving trick here. Notice that the 8's are limited to columns 8 and 9 in block 3. Come on down here to block 6. With these two 8's, the 8's, Snyder 8's limited also to columns 8 and 9 in block 6. Whenever you see this situation, call a mini X-Wing. 8's got to be here and here, or here and here. So what it does is it shows you that an 8 has to be in block 9 in column 7, because it can't be in column 7 in blocks 3 and 6. And since you already have an 8 right there, In this situation, you found a claiming single, or really a hidden single, 8. And we can solve that right away. And before we move on, I want to hear from you. Did you spot this hidden single 8 in the mini X-Wing? Please, please, please let me know in the comments. I want to grow the best Sudoku community on YouTube, and it begins with your feedback. Share with the others. I answer each and every comment. But what this does for you with these two 8s and these two 8s solves for an 8 here now in block 7. And then in row 9 here, because you have this 4, all you need is a 1 and a 4. Solve this cell for a 1 and solve that cell for a 4. And that's going to help us solve for a 4 up here in block 3. Because you got these two 4s, and you got these two 4s. You can solve for a 4 right there. And then we can put a 3, 6 naked pair here in block 3. Let me get rid of these colors because we already used that wonderful mini X-Wing. Looking at the 9s now, we were looking at the 8s before. With the 9s in block 7, with this 9 and these two 9s, Snyder 9s right there. And then in block 5, with this 9, you have Snyder 9s right here. And so there's a little tip for you. We went through and did all the Snyder marks, went to digits 1 through 9. Now you want to go back, and since we made some solved cells, and see if there's any other restrictions we can find. These are the easy solves. It'll accelerate you quicker to that spot where you need the neat, powerful strategy. All right, so let's look here at this cell. What can that be? Well, you might notice now with these two 7s and this 7, and since we saw this for 4 here, this can only be the only place for a 7 in block 3. And so that's very helpful for us, because what that does now is it allows you to go over here and check out what you can do with the 4s. Put the 4s right here on top of the 9. So it's not on top of each other. You found another hidden pair. That's a 4-9 hidden pair. Very powerful for us. And it's good to see that. What else can we do? Let's look over here where 3 can go in block 6. You have this 3 and you have this 3. So now you can solve this cell for a 3, displacing that Snyder 8. You're going to be able to displace the Snyder 8 right there. And then with this 3, you can disambiguate the 6 and the 3 in block 3. All right, and solving all those 8s, look across row 1, got a 1, 2. We're going to want to mark by value cells. I think I've said that. The key to this powerful strategy is you need to see where all the BVCs are in the puzzle. So look at row 4 right now. We have 2 candidates remaining, a 6 and a 9. We got a 9 right there. So that's got to be your 6. That's got to be your 9, displacing this Snyder 6. So what you end up with here is a 2-7 naked pair. I'm going to mark that. Cool. And now let's look at where else the 6 can be. Well, now with these two 6s, displace that Snyder 6, solve this cell for 6. And then with this 6 here, displace that and solve all the 6s, the last 6 being in block 1. After doing the 6s, let's look at row 7, column 3. What can this cell be? This is one of those cells, if you find this, it will accelerate and make your solving quicker, because you're going to switch from kind of like a hidden single or using your Snyder notation to actually find a naked single, which is pretty powerful. You might notice across row 7, if I go across row 7, you have a 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8. You need a 1, 4, 5, and a 9. Well, 4 and 9 right here in the column, a 1's in the block. This is a naked single 5. Like I said, you find these naked singles, it'll accelerate your solving quite a bit. But that's not the powerful strategy I'm going to show you. And what it does here is it limits the 3 and the 7 to these two cells now in block 7. A lot more by value cells. And this 5 also displaces that Snyder 5, allows you to solve for 5 right there. And so now you got a 3, 7 naked pair in column 1. You're going to have a 1, 3 naked pair in column 2. Okay? And we want to fill out and see what else we can do solve-wise. We actually can look and see that this 5 is going to be able to solve this 5 right here. And then you want to look, where can a 9 go now in column 8? Can't be here because of this 9. Can't be here because of that 9. This has to be your 9. You can finish the rest of block 9 with a 1 right there. Disambiguating the 4, 1 here and the 9, 4 right there. Awesome. Now let's fill out the rest of these cells. You're going to see something pretty interesting here. This can only be a 1 or a 7. You got a 1, 2, 9 remaining here. This can only be a 2, 9 because of the 1 in the column. It's going to be a 1, 2 because of the 9 in the column. And this can only be a 1, 9 because of the 2 in the column. And then up here, the last 2 cells, also 1, 2, 9. They get triple to fill out. That's your 2, 9. And this is going to be your 1, 9. The last cell I'm going to fill out is the green cell because we're up to the point where you're going to find this amazing strategy. All right. You might notice it could be a 1, 2, or a 3. It can't be a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or a 9. And what I want to see here is how many cells do we have remaining? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 cells remaining. Remember, I said this powerful strategy can solve 18 cells. Is it going to solve the remainder of this puzzle? Well, let's see. You might notice is every cell here has 2 candidates in it except for the green cell. It has 3 candidates. And you could do some solving here with more advanced strategies. You know, if you looked at the 1s in columns 2 and 8, that forms a skyscraper. And you could do some solving there. And that's okay if you want to go for advanced strategies. You could also notice that you have a conjugate pair of 1s in row 1 right here. You have a conjugate pair of 1s coming out of block 1 in column 2 right there. This forms a 2-string kite. And you could use that to do some solving advanced strategy. What I'm going to tell you is you don't need any of that. You don't need the advanced strategies if you notice these 3 conditions I'm about to show you. First condition, that 1 cell remaining has 3 candidates. We have that right there. Okay. Second condition, all other cells are bi-value cells. And you'll notice every other cell I have is a BVC. The bi-value cell, only 2 possibilities. Third condition, the puzzle must have a unique solution. And you might notice that, yes, I've checked, and this puzzle has a unique solution. Why is that important? I'll show you when I show you the nice little trick here. So instead of doing all those advanced strategies, you look right here in the cell with 3 candidates, and you go, okay, which of these candidates appears 3 times in the block, in the row, or in the column? And you'll notice, if you look at these 3 cells, a 1 appears 3 times. In the block, a 1 appears 3 times, and in the column, a 1 appears in those 3 cells. You can solve this right away for a 1, knowing that the puzzle has a unique solution. And like Timberlake, why does a unique solution matter? So if you took this 1 away, then what would happen is if you solve this for like a 2, for example, you can solve every other cell in this puzzle using that, but they're all bi-value cells. So you come back and you solve the cell for 3, and you'd have a completely different solution. You'd have all the opposites of what you solved with the 2. The only thing that breaks that deadly pattern and gives you 1 unique solution is the candidate that appears 3 times. You put a 1 in here, it breaks that pattern, and these all have to have 1 single solution. This is called a bi-value universal grave plus 1, bug plus 1. The grave is all of these bi-value cells get eliminated and they turn to solves. Plus 1 means you have that 1 cell with the 3 candidates. This is beautiful when you find it. I love seeing it in this puzzle book. Now, all that for 1. Will that solve the rest of this puzzle? Let's see. That's 2. That's 3 now. Okay. That's a 1. That's a 7. And that's a 3. All right. So far, so good. That's a 7. That's a 3. Easy peasy with this 7. That's 2. That's a 7. Okay. That's 2. That's a 7. All right. That 1, that's got to be a 9. 2, 1. All righty. And this is a 2. That's a 9. And our last cell is a 1. Outstanding. Bug plus 1. Now, see if you can spot that bug plus 1 in this next video. Thank you so much for watching.